like and subscribe for 1000 years of good luck. How many times have you regretted not talking to a certain girl? For me, there have been many situations where I've shied away from talking to a gal I was interested in due to shyness. Then later in regretted it. Men, how many times has this happened to you? Edit. Whoa. This thread blew up. I posted this last night because I couldn't sleep and I woke up to this. Haha, that's amazing. I'll have plenty to read. Too many. It's always fun to realize afterwards that she was showing some interest. You know the feeling when you just want to hit your head against a wall repeatedly. Hindsight really is 20/20 when it comes to this. When it's happening, you just brush it off to play it safe, but later on, and it could be a year later, you realize she was showing you all kinds of interests. It sucks cause you want to go back to that time and follow through, but it's gone. Sucks so much. Lol. Something I recently thought a lot about because it happened to me quite a while ago though, don't know why it came back recently, is that sometimes you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, and even going back in time would not do anything. Some girls like to flirt, but don't actually want to follow through, so if you don't flirt back you're thinking you missed a chance, whereas if you do you get rejected and start to think that maybe your detection is off, leading to more uncertainty in the future. Yeah. The what if is worse than rejection. Rejection you get over in a couple days, weeks, or months. But you may be thinking what if for years. This guy spitting straight facts. So many, until I met the girl who eventually became my wife. No regrets now. But it's ridiculous to think I almost didn't introduce myself to her the night we met. So yeah, I guess, just freaking say hello. Who off? I have a story about that helped me change my mentality. When I was in high school I had a mad crush on this gal which I was friends with, but never ever did a move out of shyness and fear of rejection. This lasted at least 5 years. We graduated and kinda lose contact. About 5 years after graduation or so I had moved cities and she was visiting and heard that I was living there, so she called me to hang out. By then I had moved on and had a GF. We had some beers and just talking, and at some point of the night she goes and says, you know, I had a mad crush on you during high school, but you never showed interest or made a move, so I could know it was mutual. I wanted to die. 5 years worried about rejection, and she felt the same. At that moment I only saw her as a high school friend, and I had a GF, but still. That made me realize that I had to learn to be rejected and deal with it, or I would never accomplish the things I wanted. From then on I had taken more risks and obviously have been rejected sometimes, and it's not that bad as I thought. But when the girl actually wants to, it's super rewarding to know that you took the risk and succeeded. TL. Doctor had a crush during high school. Years after graduation we meet, and she tells me she had a crush on me, but though I didn't feel the same. I posted this before, so I will share an abridged version. Girl 1 asked me to come to her dorm to study for an easy class, claiming not to understand the material. She was gorgeous, temporarily modeled for a department store. I straight up brought class books and sat several feet away to review notes. She never left her bed, but kept angling her body a certain way and posing. Eventually, I moved closer and explained the notes, then went home. She never invited me to anything after that. Girl 2 hung out a few times and dropped hints, asked me how to say, do you want to sleep with me? In another language, and kept saying it to me. Also gorgeous, but on a more sorority girl way. Studied together in the library with me during finals week. Invited me to her dorm to help her with a paper. Once there, stated how late it was, so I should stay the night, and wasn't allowed to use her absent roommate's bed. I agree and go back to her paper. She falls asleep, and I write her a note that I'm done proofreading, and we should study again sometime. She never invited me to anything after that. Moral: just be aware of context clues. Happens up to several times a week. I'd love to have the courage and charisma to get a random date like that. 9/10 times it wouldn't work anyway, but you miss 100% of the chances you don't take. That is like playing guitar. You don't get good at it if you don't even try it. Just making a friendly talk about something in common or about the place you're in works. There was this girl I had a crush on throughout middle and high school. I was good friends with her and her circle, female and male friends. I mean, I talked to her, but I didn't bring up the topic. I graduated high school and kept regretting that until December of the same year when we had a gathering for the whole class. I went up to her and confessed. She declined politely, and that was the end of it. I did regret confessing for the next 2 days. I kept thinking that I ruined what little chance I had. But then I realized how much closure it gave me and how pointless it was to keep trying. All in all, a nice chance to tie up a loose end. TL. Doctor had a crush throughout middle and high school. Confessed months after graduation. Regretted it at first, but I didn't later as it helped me move on. Trying and failing is certainly better than not trying and wondering what if forever. Yes, failing is embarrassing, but we get over it. Most people don't get over their regret for not trying. Yeah. My absolute biggest regret in life, not asking a girl that I only now come to realize was very interested in me. We were at a university sports club together, and she was hands down stunning, intelligent, kind, innocent, humble, meek, sensible, aligned with my views, and was without a shadow of a doubt grade A wife material. I was also interested in her, which is a rare thing in itself. There are only 3 women in 30+ years that I have been interested in on a serious marriage level. I didn't overly pick up on the to begin with, was too nervous around, wasn't self-aware enough about dating, and she gave up in the end. I somewhat wish now that I'd just asked her out and she had declined. At least I'd have closure and wouldn't be stuck with a what if scenario. I still think about her now, and that was 6 years ago. There was another lovely girl who I now realize may not have been such a great match, but still exceptionally good. I can't figure out why she wouldn't go out with a friend of mine, who is a great chap, and chased her all through college. I actively didn't pursue her because he was already pursuing her and felt it was the chivalrous thing to do. I only realized much later that she didn't go out with him because she was hoping I'd ask her out, which obviously never came. Happens often to pretty much every guy out there, I reckon. I once read about this 4-second rule which still helps me to this day, and not just in approaching girls. It basically says that when an opportunity to approach a girl opens itself up, you have to walk towards them or send them that text within 4 seconds of the opportunity arising. Otherwise your body will immediately shy away after those 4 seconds. If you don't give yourself time to overthink it, then you will get it done. Almost like you've got 4 seconds for the fight response, otherwise it's the flight response. Try it guys, hope it helps. Dude, I have lost count. Sorry, I'm a shy dork. Kind of why I hate being a man in regards to dating, and my best success with women is when they made the first move on me. I have forgotten all the other times, but I had the opportunity to talk to my wife when we were 16 and passed it up because I thought she was out of my league. Then again when I was 19 and thought the same. After boosting my confidence a bit, I asked her for coffee when I was 21. Beforehand, I had regretted not striking up a conversation each time. Met this girl as 7th grade. When she transferred to my middle school, we became friends. Thought she was great, but she could never be interested in me. Stayed friends through HS. She was varsity cheerleader co-captain, great student, never got into trouble. I'm long hair metalhead, kind of kid. Senior year comes around, I cut off all my hair, stop doing stupid things, and focus on the future etc. I'll be damned if she didn't have a crush on me for 6 freaking years. She told me after graduation and I moved to the other side of the country. SMH. I'm shy and had trouble meeting girls. In my 20s I met a very attractive girl, friend of a friend, at this outdoor concert/party. We hit it off and had great conversation. For some reason I didn't get a number. A few days later I meet another outgoing girl. Not as good looking as girl #1, but in my league. My friend later tells me girl #1 liked me. I still don't pursue. I go for girl #2 and marry her. Endure 20 years with her until divorce. This makes me wonder about guys. What made you not pursue girl #1? It isn't that I regret so much as the very obvious cues that I was oblivious to at the time. Hey, want to come over to my house and go swimming? Oh no thanks, I don't feel like swimming today. Oh, but we can get changed in my room. That's okay, thanks anyway. I'll never forgive myself for Mayo. All my life since 10th grade, but not because I was attracted to her. She was in my homeroom since 7th grade and was the target of an incredible amount of bullying. So was I, so you'd think I would have tried to befriend and encourage her, right? Nope, I was too afraid of attracting the bully's attention. So even though I hurt for her and even got angry on her behalf, I never let her know she had an ally, let alone actually stand up for her. She killed herself when we were in 10th grade, and I've never stopped wondering if a few kind words from me could have given her the hope she needed. Sorry to hear that high school can be such toxic place, and it's hard to see it when we re in it. Do you like this type of video? If so, consider subscribing to Reddit community. We upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.